How we doing, everybody? So today is just gonna be something a little quick, something that's been bugging me ever since I reinstalled my transmission after putting in a new clutch. One thing that has been slightly off has been my shifter. So because I have an aftermarket shifter, a short throw, I no longer have the home location that comes standard in the Volkswagen Audi manual shifting boxes. So now what I have to do is I literally have to go through a process, which I will be showing you, in order to help get my throws back to where they should be. So first part is we're gonna have to remove everything that's gonna be in the way. Since I already have my stock air box out, all I'm gonna have to do is remove my my short ram intake and maybe and then some of the secondary air intake hoses, so that I can have some clearance and see what I'm doing. So let's get to work. So as you saw through the time lapse, I got everything off, mainly the short ram intake and this little guy, which is the intake hose for your secondary air filter or secondary air injection motor. All right, so I have my counterweight here for my shifting. All right, then we have, this is your side-to-side relay right here, okay? Bushing, which is connected to the relay arm, okay? And then right down here, we have the gear select connector, okay? So basically, what I'm going to be doing, which is going to take some trial and error, and as you can see, I already have with some zip ties marked off where I want to, where I'm starting at. So I may only need to go up a hair forward, a hair backwards, but at least with the zip ties, it'll help me control how far I do or don't go. They're not tightened all the way down, so that I do have a little bit of slack in them. You can see I can still move them a little bit. All right. So with a little bit of force, I'll be able to push it back. So what I'm gonna do is you're gonna have to grab this, okay? I'm showing you this with one hand, so I'm not gonna replicate it so I don't lose my positioning. So you're gonna pull this collar up and you're gonna see that spring collapse, okay? And then once that spring collapses, you're gonna turn this to the left, okay? Which then will expose a ball stud, a threaded ball stud on the interior of this sleeve right here, where you'll see 3 arms at the bottom. Those 3 arms will then be kind of your grip points, okay? All right, so I changed my mind. I'm gonna show you, all right? So I've got 2 fingers on the back and I'm pulling. You see how it's collapsing in on itself? And then on the back end, hold on, I lost some light. You see those right there? You see those 3 fingers? Yeah, look at that. So it looks like there was already some adjustment made to it prior. So that's probably as far as I'm gonna go into that white zone right there. But you pull this up and then you would turn this little dial wheel, turn it to the left to lock into position, okay? And then that's how you know you're locked in. So if you're doing this by yourself, which I honestly don't recommend for an aftermarket shifter, you probably want to get a friend or maybe some type of piggyback camera. I know the GoPros have an app where you can set the GoPro and then use your phone as basically like a mirror, and then see how the shifter on the inside of the car is moving. Now, the only problem is that you're really only going to be able to see the side to side. You're not going to be able to see the front to back too well. So I'm going to get to it. I'll be right back and I'll let you know what the results are. Okay, everybody, so I got everything dialed into the way I want. I even started up the car, rocked it back and forth to make sure it went to each of the gears without problem. So it turns out that it was not the top shifter bushing, all right, that was out of alignment, or the shift linkage that was off. It was the bottom one. So the one right here under the counterweight, attached to the counterweight arm. All right, it was that one. Let me zoom in. That sucker. So it was that one right there that was too far back. So it wasn't properly engaging. So I would have to fight it a little bit to get it to go as far in as possible. So I backed it off a little bit using that camera and phone trick, and it feels good right now. So I mean, you know, I tend to be pretty picky, but the only way to really get a perfect shift feel, which any of you who own an Mk4, you know that clunky kind of feel is pretty normal, is to have a stock shifter. All right, everybody. So I hope you enjoyed this little information tutorial on how to adjust your shifter linkage. Like I said, if I had to do it all over again, I would probably keep the stock shifter linkage in and maybe just shave or cut down the height of the stock shifter pole. Just because honestly, installing an aftermarket shifter on these is a bit of a pain. And from what I can tell, the better kits from like an ECS tuning with the weighted shift relay system seems to work out best, give you a better feel in shifting. But other than that, you know what I mean, the difference in shifting for my money isn't really that huge of a deal. I think I paid like 40 bucks for it. Probably the biggest benefit of this was being able to have it powder coated. Speaking of which, if anybody's interested in any powder coating or just some general, you know, high quality automotive videos, go and visit my friend R&D Coating, the Napoleon Dynamite. Don't tell him I said that. At R&D Coating on Instagram and or on YouTube. I will put a link to his YouTube channel. I'll leave the rest up to you. Wrench Daily, peace!